Good evening. Welcome to the October 26th Board of Mayor and Aldermen meeting. Before we start the meeting, I will open the meeting in a prayer, and then we'll stand and do the Pledge of Allegiance. But I see we do have some in the audience that are not wearing masks as required by the Shelby County Health Department. I would ask you to either put on a mask or social distance, or we're going to have to ask you to leave. We've got to follow the guidelines that are put in place by others, not us. And if you can't do that, then we're going to have an issue, and I hope we don't have an issue. So with those of you who aren't wearing a mask, either put on a mask or at least social distance as required. Okay. You would please stand. Pray with me. Heavenly Father, thank you for this day, this beautiful weather you've given us here. God, thank you for our city, for those that represent our city. God, I pray for wisdom tonight as we go about this meeting, Lord. I pray for your guidance in all that we do. Father, watch over and protect those that can't be with us. And I pray all these things, Lord, in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Our future meetings are the Family Assistance Commission on November 1st at 6 p.m., Planning Commission November 1st at 7 p.m., Bartlett Station Commission November 3rd at 7:30 a.m., City Beautiful Commission November 4th at 6:30 p.m., Parks and Recreation Advisory Board November 4th at 6 p.m. Recognitions, we do have a number of scouts with us this evening, as is our custom. If each of you would come down here to that microphone right there, give us your name, your troop number, and the merit badge you're working on. Come on, guys, let's just jump up there.
Hi, my name is Michael McLaughlin. My troop is Troop 450, and I'm working on the Citizenship and the Community Merit Badge.
Thank you. Each of y'all, if y'all want to just line up, that'd be great.
Hello, my name is Kaya McLaughlin. My troop is 450, and I'm working on the Citizenship and the Community Merit Badge.
Good afternoon. My name is Noah Emerson. I am with Troop 450, and I'm working on the Citizenship and the Community Merit Badge.
Good evening. I'm Edwin Owens. I'm with Troop 450, and I'm working for Citizenship and the Community Merit Badge.
Good evening. My name is Hayden Ellis. I'm with Troop 450, and I'm working for the Citizenship and the Community Merit Badge.
My name is Reagan Gilmer, Troop 450, and I'm working on the Citizenship and the Community Merit Badge.
Hi, I'm Garrett Susi. I'm here working Citizenship for the Community and from Troop 450.
Hi, my name is Evan McGee, and I'm from Troop 450. I'm Scout Rank, and I'm working on Citizenship and the Community Merit Badge.
I'm Derek Wilkes. I'm in Troop 450, and I'm working on Citizenship in the Community.
Thank you for being here this evening. Let's give them a hand. Now I'm going to go down front and make a presentation. Margaret Thompson, would you come forward, please, ma'am? I have a proclamation I'd like to read. It says, whereas the health of our community's people is the foundation for a caring and productive society, and our future rests with our ability to adequately treat and ultimately find cures for individuals who are afflicted with a variety of illnesses, including pulmonary hypertension. whereas pulmonary hypertension is a chronic, life-threatening lung disease marked by elevated blood pressure in the lungs, and whereas without treatment, pulmonary hypertension patients live an average of 2.8 years past diagnosis. And whereas multiple treatments are available for pulmonary hypertension, but it takes patients an average of nearly 3 years to be accurately diagnosed, this day in diagnosis has not changed in the past 20 years. Whereas pulmonary hypertension patients who are diagnosed earlier have a longer life expectancy, and whereas education can help with early diagnosis and funding for research can help find a cure. Whereas the Pulmonary Hypertension Association is a nonprofit organization that seeks ways to prevent and cure pulmonary hypertension and to provide hope for the pulmonary hypertension community through support, education, advocacy, and awareness. Now, therefore, I, A. Keith McDonald, Mayor of the City of Bartlett, Tennessee, do hereby proclaim November 2021 as Pulmonary Hypertension Awareness Month and urge all the citizens of Bartlett to recognize the seriousness of this disease and the meritorious work of the Pulmonary Hypertension Association to find a cure, and it's signed by A. Keith McDonald on behalf of the city.
I just, yeah.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, thank you.
Next on our agenda is Vitalent presentation of Sirens for Life Award, and I think Chief Cox are going to make that presentation to you, if you would, with the representative, Lauren Bogard. Please come down front. You want the microphone?
I'm Lauren Bogart with Vitalent, formerly Lifeblood. I just wanted to say I was just elated when I saw the troops, and they're talking about merit badges, and I feel right at home. I have different Rotary members in here and everything. So Sirens for Life is a campaign that we run every year annually to recognize first responders. And it's actually incorporated of Sheriff Department, Police Department, Fire Department, and so forth. You get it. Well, it creates a competitive rivalry, and I didn't want to.
You might ought to talk into the microphone where everybody can hear you.
Okay, yes, sir. Is this better?
Thank you.
Okay, so yes. My Rotary member takes care of it. Okay, so it creates a competitive juice. So, Chief, your guys have actually won, and it's a traveling trophy, so they always have to keep it up. So I didn't want to just have it out in the open. Chief, if you could do me the honor and take that shirt off of there, let's let everybody see it's not just a rinky-dink. It's something that the mayor can be proud of and hold you guys accountable for earning and keeping it every year. So this is a cup that's actually awarded. They actually beat out the fire department. They beat out the sheriff department. They came and they donated. So I just wanted to also, Chief, if you would reach on the inside. I didn't want to steal any thunder for what you guys earned. You can put that on now, or you can put that on later. And you can do you can do it now or later.
Do it right now.
Okay, and do it for you guys. It's got a little sticker on the back. They did a fabulous job. So y'all give them a hand because they really went in and they supported. So I won't make this long. She's going to take a picture because Casey's going to get me if I don't have this picture. Okay, go ahead, sir. All right. So thank you so much for the opportunity. And I'm going to leave that trophy in your hands. And congratulations again. Thanks so much. All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Now for the official business of the day. The first item is approval of the minutes. You should have received a copy of the minutes in your package.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Would you go to your device and vote, please? Motion is accepted 6-0. Next item on the agenda is the consent agenda. There are 6 items. Madam Clerk, would you read those into the record?
Item 1, special event permit for Trunk or Treat Fall Festival. Item 2, bid for concrete replacement project. Item 3, subdivision contract for Kurtz subdivision. Item 4, subdivision contract for Terry Alexander subdivision. Item 5, presentation of debt obligation form related to general obligation public improvement and refunding bond series 2021. Item 6, authorization to auction surplus property.
You've heard those. As anyone on this board can pull any item for separate discussion. Is there any that anybody would like to pull?
Move to approve.
Have a motion
Second.
and a second. If you would, go to your device and vote, please. The minutes are approved, the consent agenda, are approved 6-0. Into new business, Madam Clerk, would you read item 1 of new business?
Item 1, set a public hearing for December 14th, 2021 for Resolution 30-21, a resolution approving a special use permit to allow a truck or trailer rental use to be located at the northwest corner of Summer Avenue and Alturia Road on parcel B0166C00004 within CH Highway Business Zoning District.
It's my understanding that the purpose of this is strictly to set a public hearing.
For that purpose, I move to approve and set the public hearing for December 14th.
Have a motion and a second. Please go to your device and vote, please. Item is approved 6-0. Madam Clerk, would you read item 2 into the record?
Item 2, Resolution 31-21, a resolution authorizing the City of Bartlett, Tennessee to participate in James L. Richardson Driver Safety Matching Grant Program.
Mr. Phoebus, if you would.
This is a resolution we have, the board has done this in previous years to accept submit an application for a grant, a driver safety matching grant with public entity partners.
You've heard the explanation. Are there any comments?
Move it out. Approve.
Have a motion. Did we get a second?
Second.
And we have a second. Is there any discussion? If you would, go to your device, please, and vote. Item carries 6-0. Madam Clerk, would you read item 3 into the record?
Item 3, Resolution 32-21, a resolution to amend the City of Bartlett fiscal year 2022 American Rescue Plan Act Fund to provide for premium paid to essential employees as authorized in the American Rescue Plan Act.
Mr. Phoebus.
As the resolution states, we are amending the American Rescue Plan Act with the City of Bartlett to provide for premium pay for select employees in public safety, fire, ambulance, and solid waste employees. And the explanation was given in a report to the board on a separate page. I hope all of you have seen that report. Be glad to answer any questions that you may have at this time.
You've heard the explanation.
Move to approve.
We have a motion.
Second.
And we have a second. Now, is there any discussion? Okay.
So would you mind sharing how you arrived at the $3,000 limit?
$3,000 per employee.
No, I'm asking how you arrived at 3,000.
I'm sorry?
I'm asking how you arrived at 3,000.
That was a figure submitted by the mayor.
Okay. I didn't know why. I mean, I understand each 1,000 is another $266,000 plus the
Well,
FICA and the
Some
workman's comp.
consideration was given for the total amount of money that we receive from the government. And there's probably going to be some other uses proposed by the administration at a later date. And the $3,000 was a number that was arrived at to give the premium pay.
Okay.
Mr. Brown, can you offer any further?
Yeah, we did look at other numbers, higher and lower. And then with the other uses for this first batch of money, we determined this was what we thought we could afford and get the other items done, as Dick said, and then wait for this second batch of money, so.
Right, thank you.
This kind of flow-through funds, Mark?
These are federal funds
I said
given
just
to us to
flow
address.
through. It actually is not, I mean, we're paying for it in the long run, but it's not costing the city as of this moment, right? But
There's
we'll
no
pay
match
it back
required, yeah. It's,
with our great-great-grandchildren.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Any other comments? Question? Alderman
It's,
Franklin?
it's my understanding, Mark, that this is just the first half, and the second half won't be until about 12 months from now.
That's correct. It'll be next fiscal year, yes.
Any other comments? If no other comments or questions, please go to your device and vote. Item passes 6-0. That concludes the regular business of our meeting. As is our custom, we always allow our directors, our aldermen, or the people from the public to comment. Are there any of the aldermen have anything they'd like to? What about any department heads? Okay, anyone in the audience can address this board for can address this board. If you would, come down to the microphone, give us your name and address for the record.
My name is Julie Fisher, and I'm a Bartlett citizen. May I please give this to you and pass out?
Could we have your address, please?
3017 Old Brownsville Road.
Okay. Go ahead.
Well, there's been a lot of problems go on as far as I've spoke with Mark Brown personally.
And by the way, excuse me, you have 3 minutes, and at
That's
that
fine.
time, your time
Got
is up.
that. So I've been speaking to Mark Brown, and he's more aware of the situation, but we've been having problems with the Bartlett City School and their arbitrary power of taking over for Shelby County health directives. So first, since we discussed all this money, I want to make a formal request for the conditions and stipulations regarding the Bartlett City ARS funds that you guys have. I believe that you had $2.6 million over the past 2 years, is that correct?
I think it's 2.8 million this year.
And the only contract put out on that is for Shelby County mask. Where is that money?
I'm not aware of any money put
Okay,
out.
so I'm
for-
making a formal request to have the conditions and stipulations of that. And is
What
there?
was the formal request, ma'am?
I want to know the conditions and stipulations regarding the ARS funds and the ESSER funds for 1, 2, and 3. How that money is being spent, where it's being spent.
Those are school funds, ma'am.
The ARS city funds are not. That's Bartlett city funds that you guys have. Mayor McDonald told me that they're ARS funds. Moving forward, I want an exemption for constitutional violations in reference to Shelby County's health directive. The governor has not rescinded any of his executive order, so how can the city proceed against the governor?
Ma'am, the city is following the guidelines of the Shelby County Health Department, which
then
is
moving forward, I would
required.
like to ask for a special vote to stay separate from Shelby County Health Department and their arbitrary power with directives.
Well, we're not going to do that, I'm sorry,
Why will you not do that?
because we don't have the authority to override the Shelby County Health Department.
But you do have authority to make a vote.
We don't.
We have the authority to make a vote.
Now, we're going to allow one person at a time to speak, and it's the person right here. Anyone else that wants to speak over may have to leave. So if you would, please pay attention to what you're doing. And ma'am, you have 45 seconds left.
I want a special vote.
Well, I don't know, we don't have anything
Then
to
how about
vote.
we rezone Bartlett from having to deal with this. I mean, I don't know what solution do
I-
you want to,
ma'am,
what do you want to come up with? Ma'am, I can't help you, will not work at this moment.
Well, it'll have to help you because the problem, as I explained, is have to follow the guidelines of the Shelby County Health Department.
But you
And if
don't
you
have to
have an
follow the
issue with that, go to the Shelby County Health Department and express your concerns.
Well, as a Tennessean, I'm supposed to resist arbitrary power, so where does that put me and you between?
I will interject.
Please.
That the law comes from the state of Tennessee. They have given counties with health departments the authority
Time is
to-
now up. You can go ahead.
I'm finishing.
Well,
Can Emily
Tennessee
answer?
law says that the counties with their own health department, Knoxville, Davidson, Shelby County, their health departments have the authority to mandate. We cannot change the state law. You need to email your state legislators and complain to them.
all right, let me interject this. Your time's
Not
up.
change the
Emily,
state law.
Alderman Elliott, please, if you would, sit down. The Tennessee legislature is going into special session tomorrow to discuss this, and that's who you need to address it with. We can't do anything about it. And your time is up, ma'am. You may sit down.
Jack, Vice Mayor.
Yes, sir.
Let me say something. You know, like, you have your rights, and I believe in it, and a lot of things you say, I believe in. But really, like, there's always trouble comes out of, like, when people get aggravated or mad when they get an answer. But if you're up here and you get an answer from him, then you can take action somewhere else. But always try to remember, and I do, I think of everybody out there. I care about everybody. Y'all are all in the community. We have children, and they go to school here. And I'm
Actually,
not
they
trying to
don't.
bring
They've been withdrawn. My general counsel at Bartlett has forced me to withdraw my children.
I'm just.
Ma'am, I'm
speaking.
sorry, your time
Right,
is
I just
up.
don't want, main thing is if you're good people trying to get a point across, don't let nothing excite you and get you aggravated or make, make
It
things
does
look
quite
bad.
aggravate me when I spend my tax dollars and we're having to
All
follow
right, ma'am.
mandates that aren't
Hey,
laws.
look, I'm a nice guy, and I do believe in people's rights. But, like I say, if you get a point and you want to pick at it, well, make it bleed, but anyway.
That concludes her time. Is anyone else would like to address this board?
Good evening. My name is Sabrina Bird. I am a resident of Bartlett. I live
What's your
at
address,
6274 Bending River Road in Bartlett. I'm going to piggyback on what this woman said. There's actually no evidence that Shelby County Health Department has ever provided to prove that masks work. None. This right here is an article that shows that CDC admits no conclusive evidence cloth masks work against COVID. Okay? I wanted to say that loud enough for everyone to hear. Dr. Fauci's emails that he never thought were going to see the light of day in his communications with a has-been Hollywood actress named Morgan Fairchild, when she asked him, do these masks actually work against virus? He said no, they are useless. And I know there are plenty of people that worship at the house of Fauci and hang on every word he says. These masks absolutely have nothing to do with the virus. It is all about control over our bodies, over our sovereignty. Masks, back in the days of slavery, were a form of control. They took away an individual's rights, their individuality, and they were to remind people that they were owned and controlled by someone else. Who owns and controls you? And you can't say nobody, because here you are, still masking up, still telling us that we have to mask up. Nuremberg Code, Article 6, Section 3. No government can mandate or force medical treatment without individual consent. You are violating, every single mandate is violating that Nuremberg Code. It also violates the First Amendment of our Constitution for religious freedoms. I gave a letter of religious exemption from having my daughters wear masks in school. I was refused. I can send in a religious exemption against vaccination for my children for religious reasons, but I can't for a mask, when masks are a type of medical treatment, a type of medical apparatus that I, as the parent, have a choice to say yes or no to. Why are my rights as parents being taken away and violated? It should have never come in question. Governor Lee shouldn't have had to put out Executive Order 84, but it did say a parent has the right to choose whether we opt out or not. And then we have this injunction from a family who lives out in Collierville in their school system, saying they want everyone else's children to revolve their lives around their one child who supposedly has special needs, but yet that same child goes and plays soccer maskless in close contact with other children. Completely selfish. And I was at that federal court hearing that day. Both Governor Lee's team of attorneys and the Schwaggart's attorneys failed miserably in making any case for or against masks. They couldn't sit here and give any evidence that says masks don't work. It's like a mosquito
Ma'am,
going through
I'm sorry,
a
ma'am,
length
your
of chain
time-
link fence.
Your time is up. Thank you. Anyone else would like to address this board? We could get your name and address for the record.
And wow, I thought I was going to be the only one here. My name is Patricia French, and I live at 6325 Star Valley. I had a conversation with Alderman Pleasant earlier today and explained to him my concerns. And it's on the same vein, but I want to offer a different thing that I would like to ask you to do as the Board of Mayor and Aldermen for the city I love. And I wrote it all down so I wouldn't get emotional. So please bear with me, and I'll try to do it quickly in the 3 minutes that I have. I've been a resident of Bartlett for 35 years, and I've always appreciated the way this city was managed, as it's a clean, well-kept city with good neighborhoods and good neighbors, and very low crime compared to that large city that we border. In fact, I've been happy to say, gee, the Bartlett Police Department has very little to do but catch speeders, and that's a great thing. Although I know crime happens, and they take good care of it, and it doesn't get the same kind of press that the big city does, and I appreciate everything you guys do. However, my parents raised my siblings and me to be good, hardworking, and patriotic citizens. And one of the things that's impressed me about Bartlett over the years has been the open expression of religious freedom and patriotism demonstrated by the mayor and aldermen. That sign behind you, "In God We Trust," that's on my license plate by choice. And I appreciate that. And I appreciate that when I go to events in Bartlett, they're patriotic and they honor God. And that's good. But there comes a time as a citizen when we have to do more than just go along to get along. So at last month's Mayor and Alderman meeting, this body unanimously approved a resolution saying, we don't think the consolidation of Shelby County government is a good thing. And I agree. I think that's wonderful. Wouldn't be good for Bartlett. Now I'm wondering what this board would resolve to do to free the citizens of Bartlett from the continued tyranny of the unelected Shelby County Health Director, who in the face of falling COVID-19 cases is preparing to extend the mandate again. Because, as you pointed out, Tennessee law lets them do that. And hopefully, the special session will take care of that. And trust me, I am going to be contacting the people who represent me in Nashville, as we all should. But there are some things that Bartlett can do, I believe.
Sorry, ma'am, your 3 minutes is up.
Oh, rats. Well, I sent my remarks to Alderman Pleasant. If you don't mind sharing those with the board. I will very quickly say I'd love to see a resolution from this board that says we don't support the mask mandate.
Okay,
we don't
thank
support the
you.
continued mandates. Right here.
Okay.
Could I get your name and address for the record, please?
My name is Kathleen Bearden. I live at 5503 Wakefield Cove here in Bartlett, Tennessee. I'm going to continue where my sister left off. According to the Shelby County Health Department's website, there are currently 1,144 active cases of COVID-19 in Shelby County, a rate of 0.8. The really interesting statistics on that website are the labels, probable and confirmed. The Tennessee Department of Health case definition for those classification should give us all pause when we hear the alarm being sounded by the county health department. A member of my church died last month of cancer. She did not have COVID, but you won't know that from her death certificate. The funeral home, located not far from Bartlett, advised the family not to dispute the information on the death certificate because the medical facility at which she died will be able to collect government funds, and so will the funeral home. They said they would be billing the government for everything over $9,000. My sister, and she's my sister as well, is losing her job at Methodist Le Bonheur because they have denied every religious exemption requested, and they are proud of it. They in their letter to her, they let her know that they did not allow not one single religious exemption. The FDA's emergency authorization for the COVID-19 vaccines require full disclosure of risks so a person can make an informed health decision. The FDA's emergency authorization also says anyone who refuses a vaccine offered under emergency authorization cannot suffer adverse job consequences. Neither of those requirements are being met. Do you know that the fully approved vaccine is not available and won't be for months? How can someone lose their job for refusing a vaccine under an emergency authorization that the fully approved vaccine, that Mayor and Aldermen, have you done your homework? Have you read the Declaration of Independence and the Constitution of the United States? Do you know what the FDA emergency authorization requires? And before I leave, I'm not going to get to finish this for her, but we can create our own county. We do not have to be a part of Shelby County. It has been done before. And I would recommend that if you care about your citizens and this town, that is something that you all should consider.
Thank you, ma'am. Your time is up. Is there anyone else that'd like to address this board? If you would give us your name and address for the record.
My name is Victor Reed. I live at 6355 Briargate Drive. I'm here because, well, the school board...
If you would, speak into the microphone there, sir. Thank you.
I'm here because the school board wouldn't help, and obviously that's why a lot of these people are here. As she said, your citizens are looking for help and nobody's giving it to us. You say that we have to follow Tennessee state law. I agree, but nobody's fighting. That's what I disagree with. You said it that we're going to pay that pedophile Joe's money for that federal to sit there and pay these people. You voted for it. You should have voted no, because you said it yourself. Our great-grandchildren are going to pay for that. This is what I mean. Nobody's fighting. Nobody's fighting any of this. And what are we so worried about? A piece of cloth on our face or something like that? You know, it's no big deal, right? You're right. It's not. But what is a problem with the FDA is trying to do right now, they're trying to mandate the vaccine where we can't go to school. I'm losing my job December 8th over the vaccine. They're going to do it to us too, and it's going to be federally mandated, and it may even be state mandated. Then what are we going to do? Because you're already proving to us the last line of defense is not fighting for us. Our local politicians are doing nothing. I understand that there's this law. Then go to the council with me. Go to the Shelby County meetings with me, and I will back you 100%. But as far as I know, none of that is happening. Here's how I see what's going on in this county right now. So there's a crime happening, right? And it's like it's happening in Bartlett, right? But our Bartlett people keep saying that let's call sheriff. Well, the sheriff's 30 minutes away. This is happening inside of our own city limits. And it just seems like, oh, it's just another month. It's just another month. We just give it 2 more weeks. Just give it 2 more weeks and it'll be better. I know there's a special session that's being called, right? It's probably gonna save y'all this time. And that's what terrifies me. Because what's gonna happen the next time when the state is not gonna rescue you? There will be consequences for this. And at that time, you're opening up the gates of hell. I don't know why people don't realize this. It's just a little bit more. It's just a little bit more security. It's a little bit more security. It's a little bit more tyranny. And the gates of hell are literally opening. And then us as citizens can do nothing to help you at that point. Whatever happens beyond the point of no return, we cannot help you. We cannot vote you in. We cannot vote you out. There's nothing we can do. And it's just going to be a downhill slide from there. And see, the way that you're acting proves my point. You don't care. So how am I supposed to sit here in this? I moved in this community. In fact, my son is 4th generation Bartlett resident. My grandfather graduated from Bartlett High School. He's lived in this, and he's lived in this town for 45 years.
Sir, thank you very much, but your time is up. Thank
You
you.
need help now.
Okay, thank you.
Hey, my name is Jenny Conrad Rendon. I'm actually a nurse practitioner.
And what is your address, please, ma'am?
4852 Germantown Road.
Thank you.
This is my daughter Maria that I adopted right before the COVID or coronavirus hit. And she is having to wear this mask on her face.
And we can, if you pull that microphone down, there you go. Thank you.
She's having to wear this mask to school. Her speech was already behind when I adopted her, and it's gotten worse. I have asked her speech teachers to please let her not have the mask on. You know, I mean, when the time that they were home, you know, all this stuff, she went further behind on all her OT, didn't get any of those services. I had to fight, and they did it via Zoom. And now she's doing speech with the mask on. And enough is enough. I mean, I've seen it. I've had COVID. You know, I have friends that are losing their jobs over this. We're going against science. Completely against science. If you've had the virus, your immunity is there. That is better than any vaccine. When people have hepatitis, we don't go give them a hepatitis B vaccine on top of it. We've got to start thinking and looking what we're doing to the children and to all of us. We're going to be just like Australia and everywhere else, because it's coming. And we need you guys to help us. Help our children, please.
Thank you.
Hello, my name is Chase Matheson, and I'm a resident of Tullahoma, Tennessee, 104 West
Sir,
Coast.
excuse me, but if you're not a citizen of Bartlett, we're going to hear from the citizens of Bartlett before we hear.
You
and-
said
and
that
we
anybody
actually-
in the room was available,
No,
and I
sir.
was just going to point out the American with
You
Disabilities
sir,
Act to the lady that wants to
sir,
quote the law.
excuse me. You don't. That's right. Well, staying there doesn't mean anything, ma'am. He's not a registered voter or a citizen of the city of Bartlett. So, well, that's fine. He can go to his board in Tullahoma and tell him anything he wants to. Is there anybody else would like to? Is there anyone else that would like to address this board? No, ma'am, you've already had your 3 minutes. Is there anyone else would like to address this board? Seeing no one else, sir, are you going to address? Yes, sir, you may. Give us your name and address for the record, please.
My name is Daniel Jones. I live at 6046 Camellia Lane in Bartlett.
Okay.
I'm familiar with that man, and I've seen the videos that he puts out, and a lot of people in this room agree with him. I appreciate you guys opening the floor for us to come and talk. I'm grateful for your service to this community. I moved to Bartlett. I was born in Memphis and moved my family into Bartlett because I love Bartlett. Bartlett is a rare community in this state. I'm grateful for all these men and women in uniform. We have the best police department I've ever seen anywhere. I love Bartlett Police. Thank you. They keep us safe. We love our schools here. We love the community that we have here. Bartlett is a jewel in the state of Tennessee, and particularly here in Shelby County. The Shelby County Board of Health has more power right now than our own elected officials do. You are voted into office to represent your electorate. We respect your leadership. We respect your level-headed thinking when it comes to community policy, protecting the citizens of Bartlett. But if we don't stand up, and I'm addressing you, when I say we, I'm including myself in the group because we are all citizens. What a wonderful nation, what a great time to be alive. We have so much at our fingertips right now, and it's slowly being taken away, but it's faster and faster every day. I'm a part of you, and you're a part of us. You are voted in to protect us and to stand up for us and to represent our desires and our needs as American citizens. And whenever your time is up in your office, someone else will be voted in to represent the people. So, I'm respectfully inviting you to stand up and really take advantage of the opportunity that God has given you by raising you up in leadership and stand up for the families of the community that have voted you into this office. So just to close, with respect and humility, I'm grateful for your sacrifice in leadership. I know that it takes a lot. You can't just leave it at the office. It kind of consumes a lot of your life. I'm grateful for that. Will you please now do the job in the time and the place for which you have been appointed? Will you do it on behalf of your constituency? It's my prayer that you will. God bless you and your families. Thank you for your time tonight.
Is there anyone else that would like to address this board? Just let me make one statement, and then Alderman Elliott, you can, that there is a special session of the Tennessee State Legislature tomorrow that is designed to address this issue, and that's the guidelines and the laws in which we have to follow. Whether you all agree or not, if you would, ma'am, but please, if you'd be quiet. Well, it doesn't matter. You can't ask a question right now. Alderman Elliott.
All right, so a lot of you are being judgmental about some of my things I have said. I want you to know I belong to the Daughters of the American Revolution, patriotic organization. I am a registered nurse. I have had to wear a mask for the last 2 years, 10 hours a day. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. I have complained about the Shelby County Health Department. I have complained about wearing masks. I'm in communication with Commissioner Mick Wright. But again, it is a state law, and as an elected official, let me finish.
Sir, if you're gonna break in, you're gonna leave right now.
I said I am sworn to uphold the laws of the state of Tennessee, and I have to.
Ma'am, you got.
Yes, the state law says Shelby County has the authority, and until that's changed in the legislature, I can't change it. You, as citizens, can email your legislatures, each and every one, every day. Bombard them. You elected them too. You're paying their salary, a whole lot more than mine, and they're the ones that can change the law. And that's what we're saying. We're not necessarily not in your court, but we can only, I was on the COVID task force call 2 weeks ago, and I asked the question about to these people that were spewing out data. I said, so Tipton County's numbers are going down. Is their vaccination rate higher? Because I know they don't have a mask mandate in Tipton County, but they could not answer my question. So, it's not that we're not in your court, but there are certain things that we can't do. You have got to go to the legislatures and ask them to change the law about the authority of the health department in this county, and in Knox County, and Davidson County, if that's what those people want. We can't alone change the law. We can talk to commissioners, we can talk to the health department, we can talk to legislatures, but there's a whole lot more of you that can carry your words to them. Y'all got to speak out to them. Okay, I'm just saying.
Alderman Pleasance?
And also, like, I mean, I can feel your frustration, but I have really enjoyed listening to some people that was able to express yourself. They didn't waste their 3 minutes. But it's just like the court system. If you go to a court and you lose, you take it to a higher court, and it'll get to the Supreme Court. I served 5 terms in the Tennessee House of Representatives, and I've talked to at least 11 or 12 of the people up there that's serving right now. And so that's where you get things done. I don't get anything done by creating a problem or making the city look bad or making people mad or getting in front of a microphone. And I've had and seen all the people talking and running their mouth about stuff, and then they're not even interested in it. They won't just make a show. But I know y'all are sincere. I know Ms. French is sincere. So we just have to kind of follow, and it'll end up, if it has to, it'll end up in the Supreme Court. But we'll get something done, and I've talked to a friend of mine, Congressman David Kustoff, and he works day and night, and he's trying to help us. Marshall Blackburn's working. So I just want you to know that I've lived on the same farm over there on Germantown Road for 76 years. In March, it'll be 77 years. If you think you care any more about Bartlett and all my father graduated from Bolton. My children graduated from Bartlett, one from Bolton. I graduated from Bolton. My sisters graduated from Bolton High School. I love the county. I love the county system as the old county system. But there's a lot of things that's going to have to be corrected. But it's got so bad here in the last year or so that it's going to take a little bit. But people's going to realize the rights they're losing, and it's kind of coming before their eyes. Actually, what you're going through right now and the worries you have, it's kind of growing by leaps and bounds every week. So, believe it or not, you might feel like you're not getting anywhere, but you are. And I mean, I feel basically just like y'all, but I've learned that, you can get a lot more done if you just, like Miss French, and I mean, a lovely lady, I enjoyed talking to her. She made my day. She's sincere, and I knew it. If she'd wanted to, I'd have been respectful and let her raise her voice to me or say anything she wanted to. But anyway, so always remember that we can't really do everything. You can't do something you're sworn to go by the laws of the state of Tennessee. So I think it's going to, I'm interested in seeing what comes out of the special session. I feel like we might possibly get some relief there. So I'm sorry for talking long, but don't ever think that I don't think that you ought to be able to talk, or it's just like us. I mean, if we got up here and fought with each other and I screamed at him and he hollered back at me, and then people would bring him on, you can get in a group and one person or two people can cause everybody problems and cause you to hate each other. Isn't it enough hate in this country? For God's sakes, love people and give them a little bit of the doubt or possibility that they do love their city and they're trying their best to do things. So anyway, a lot of words, a lot of talk. But that's the way I feel, I'm sorry. Thank you very much.
Anybody on this board have anything else? Seeing no one, this being the end of our regular business, this meeting is adjourned.